Good afternoon, everyone. This is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews, and I am your literary ambassador. And today I have on my channel author Tommy Gray. Welcome, Tommy. How are you?
I'm doing better than ever. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Now tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I was actually born and raised here in Indianapolis, Indiana, and graduated from high school back in '95. And then 1 year after I graduated in '96, I actually enlisted in the Marines. I was in the Marines from 1996 until 2018. Retired in 2018, and while I was in the military, went through some challenges, some obstacles, and God began to kind of put some ideas, thoughts, concepts into my heart, and I began to use that to kind of bridge the gap in writing the book that I have right now, which my book is based on, some things that have happened to me in my life, but overall points to, God's goodness and bringing me to where I'm at right now.
Okay. Would you like to share your books now?
Yeah, so the name of my book is called Deep Waters. It's Life's 31-Day Devotional. And it goes for 31 days, every day, then a different topic, a different devotion. And so within the book, what you get is you have a devotion, and then you will have a life application. The life application is some things that I point to that's based off things that have happened in my life. And after the life application, you have a section where you can reflect. The reflection is the part where you can journal down your thoughts based off of what you believe the devotion is saying to you.
Okay. So what would your genre be under?
Well, it's more under the inspiration section, and I want to reach as many people as possible, as quickly as possible, as irresistibly as possible, to give the message to them that, with Jesus, everything is going to be okay. And maybe not overnight, but over time. That's the message that I want to get to people, regardless of what they're going through, what they are experiencing.
Okay. Now I think, if I'm not mistaken, I heard that you just finished a movie or a film.
Yes, so I just finished the film, and the film is actually called Family Ties. Directed by a good friend of mine, good man of God, a good friend of mine. And in this film, I play an alcoholic. And this guy is So there's a twist to it. He's an alcoholic. His father, the guys who I play, his father was an alcoholic, and his father actually passed away. So now it leaves his mother and myself and his older brother. And so things take a turn, meaning, kind of get caught up in the wrong crowd. I'm trying to balance this whole thing with losing my father and trying not to follow in his footsteps as far as being an alcoholic. And that was going to go in theaters, but because of everything that's going on, the director posted that on YouTube for everyone to go and watch.
Okay. How do you feel about book reviews, whether they're bad or good?
Well, I always look at it from the light of corrective criticism. I have become a fan and an advocate and a lover of growth over the years. And one thing about being a lover of growth is not always based on what you want to hear. Growth is not always based on pleasant compliments. And growth often comes from being able to embrace corrective criticism, not only embracing it, but applying it, making it tangible. And so while positive reviews are great, we like those, but you have to be able to take the negative. And even if the negative reviews, even if they may be condescending, you have to be mature enough to say, okay, if the negative part, if what they said, if all of what they said is not true, what part is true? Because we're looking for growth, and so whether it's positive or whether it's negative, I take what I can and apply it, because we always want to make ourselves better.
Yes. What literary events Well, do
Hmm.
you plan for this year, even though in the virus right now? Do you have any literary events?
Well, as of right now, we did have the book signing that was
Mm-hmm.
going to take place on April the 4th. And the book signing was going to take place on April the 4th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And that was going to take place at the Half Price Bookstore on 86th and Ditch. But as of right now, with everything going on, we are in the process of rescheduling that.
Mm-hmm.
As we reschedule, we probably will keep the same location more than likely. If we move it to a different location, that will be communicated as well. But as of right now, the event that we got that's still pending is the actual book signing. And for those who have already ordered a book, when they come to the book signing, their books will be there, and they will have a chance to have their books autographed and take a picture and things like that. And so that's what we got pending right now.
Okay. Where did your love of books, reading, and writing come from?
Well, I believe that most people who are an advocate for certain things probably at one point in time struggled with that particular thing. I struggled for a long time with reading. When I graduated high school, I was halfway illiterate. I probably was maybe 19 years old reading on a seventh grade level. And so when you are halfway illiterate, it's a challenge because you can't hold a dialogue with someone. Um, you can't interpret or comprehend the things they're saying. You cannot take these ideas and make the intangible tangible. If you are in an argument or disagreement with someone, it's hard to defend yourself because you're not really educated enough to have an argument. And so when I went into the Marines, I had leadership
Mm-hmm.
people tell me behind closed doors, you will never amount to anything. You're a mistake. You shouldn't be here. We're not going to pay for you to go to college because you're not college material. So all these things were told to me for years. And when it finally got to the point to where I was able to go to college and better myself, um, not only did I have all this anger to kind of fuel me,
Mm-hmm.
but with education, once I got a taste of it, I kind of fell in love with it. And so being halfway illiterate to becoming fully illiterate, that kind of catapulted me into writing and being an author. And I've been an advocate for education ever since.
Okay. How did publishing your first book change your process of writing?
Well, it definitely opened up my eyes and broadened my horizon. Because the experience led me to see, okay, in the future going forward, whenever I write more books, I know that I want to make sure that I'm done with the book
Mm-hmm.
before I get in contact with a publisher. It just so happened, by the grace of God, that by the time I got in contact with ATK Publishing, Dr. Tuesday, that the book that I was writing was about 95% complete. So I didn't have that much catching up to do.
Mm-hmm.
But now it changed my view because it lets me know, okay, make sure your book is done before you contact the publisher. Make sure you have an idea, a concept on how you want your book to look. And just be ready to go full speed because the publisher is probably going to go full speed.
What's the best way to market your books?
Well, there are numerous ways. And as an independent author, you can always do social media. You can always do Amazon. You can always do Kindle. Um, and then also, if you have a great publisher, your publisher will also help you market that. So you have social media, you have word of mouth, you have Amazon, you also have Kindle. And so those are certain ways that you can use. I think that what really sets you up for success is having a great publisher. I can't speak highly enough. I can't speak enough accolades. I can't sing enough praise for the help that ATK has gave me throughout this whole process. And if I had to do it all over again, I still would choose ATK.
How do you balance the demands of writing with other responsibilities?
Well, most of the time you hear people say, man, it's not enough hours in a day. Really, it is. It's about if you can't find the time, which most of us cannot. I don't know anybody who can find time. Sometimes you have to make the time. And so if it's important to you, you have to make the time. And this is where discipline comes in. And this is where I tell people that one of the main concepts that I live by, it's not just faith without works is dead. We understand that. But people should also realize that faith without discipline is dead. It's important to find the discipline. If you're gonna carve out or dedicate 30 to 45 minutes to the project, you have to do that at a certain time of the day when you are the most productive and you are the most alert. Even if it means as soon as you get home, you sit down, don't pass go, don't collect $200. You sit down and you put that time in.
What did you learn when writing this first book?
Well, I learned that it's important as a writer, when you're writing your first book, the thoughts of what you want to write sometimes do not come at the most convenient time. And what I mean by that is you can just wake up and you can be laying in the bed and these thoughts will begin to come to you about what you want to put down in your book, right? So what I've learned is I always keep a notebook right by my bed, because when these thoughts come up, it's vital, and I cannot express enough. It's vital to write it down right then. I don't care what you got going on. If the sky's not falling, go write it down. Because as humans, we'll say, I'll just write it down later, but you won't, because you're going to forget it. So what I've learned as a writer is to keep a notepad and a pen by my bed, because the moment I have a thought and it comes, I gotta run. If I'm cooking, get the notepad, bring it to the kitchen, and write it down. You get, because if not, you will lose it.
Okay. For your next book, who would you like to collaborate with, if you could?
Well, that right there, I really don't know if I want to collaborate on my next project or not. I'm still thinking, not really sure. I know that I definitely would still stick with ATK, but I'm not too sure about that yet. I do know that for my next project, I do know two things. Number one, I've already started, but this one, what I feel is I want to do, an autobiography. But you know how some books have a journal to go with it. I'm thinking about having a book and then an independent journal that accompanies that book.
Yeah.
And so that way they will have the book, then they will have an actual journal that goes to that book, where they can kind of copy down their thoughts and things like that.
What is your role in the writing community?
Well, my role is really, it's really, I think, to fill in as a gap. That's to fill in the gap, to give some wisdom, to give some insight, some guidance, and some direction on maybe some first-time authors who are unclear or unsure about the process on how to get started. And because, when I first said to myself, I want to write a book, the first question I had was, where do I go? I want to be able to find somebody locally who knows how to do this. And so if that was my first question, I would probably parallel and say, that's probably the first question of many first-time authors. You know,
Mhm.
so to be able to be a beacon, a lighthouse, to kind of help point people in the right direction and to give them any kind of tips that could
Mhm.
save them time.
Okay. What would you consider to be your best accomplishment thus far in the writing industry?
Well, I would just say getting the book in hand. I mean, having the book, having the book definitely done, because this has been a long time in the making. And the reason why it's such a great accomplishment is because I've kind of pushed it off for so long, even tried to talk myself out of it at one point in time. And so when it finally got to the point to where this thing would not let me rest, I got to the point where I said, this has to be done.
Mm.
And then seeing it come to pass, like it actually happening, knowing where I came from, knowing how I struggled with literacy, and then to be able to write a book and then
Mhm.
have it and
Mhm.
be a published author and
Mhm.
sell it has probably been one of my greatest victories.
Okay. What are you what did you say you was working on right now? Or are you working on anything right now?
Well, so as of right now, I'm working on a couple of projects. The first one is the next book, obviously. Then I'm working on a film, which is a series that I'm doing, and the name of the series is called Rise. And so basically, I play this pastor, and then the gentleman, his name is Reverend Derek Ward, and him and his wife, they're the pastor of this church called Walk in the Light Ministries. And so kind of an overview of it is that on the outside with this pastor and his wife, everything looks okay. It looks like there's the picture perfect marriage. And behind closed doors, there's a whole lot going on. I mean, his wife is a recovering alcoholic, and she drifts back into alcoholism. The him and his wife have been living a lie for over 20 years, along with the children. It gets to the point where it gets so bad that him and his wife just about end up getting a divorce with some other painful things involved. And so it's a series, and we should be done, ready to air by the fall of this year. And the reason why it takes so long is because it's a series. And so we're looking at about 7 to 8 episodes. So yeah, there's two projects that I'm working on right now.
Okay. Where can readers find you?
So readers can find me actually on three locations. They can find me on Facebook, just as Tommy Gray. And then I started a Facebook page called Motivational Mondays. And the reason why I started, yeah, it's called Motivational Monday with Tommy Gray. And the reason why I created this Facebook page called Motivational Monday is because, nobody wants to go to work on Monday. Like Monday is the day that people they're not too excited to see. Also, I found out that most suicides are committed like in between Sunday night and Monday mornings.
Wow.
And so there are a lot of people that just something about Mondays that Americans dread. And so what I figured was this: while I cannot take Monday off the calendar, I can help you have a better Monday. And my whole philosophy is, if I can help you have a better Monday, maybe I can help you have a better week. If I can help you have a better week, maybe I can help you have a better month. If I can help you have a better month or better months, just maybe I can help you have a better year. If I can help you have a better year, maybe that will extend out to having a better decade. If I can help you have a better decade, then maybe I can help you live an amazing life. And I thought that it all starts on Monday.
Okay, will this be just posts or will this be video?
This will be a combination of both.
Oh, okay.
As of right now, it's live, it's active. Um, Viewers can go to it where I have posts on there. Some posts I have on there, which are a lot of examples, small examples from the book, my upcoming book. So they can go on there and see motivation and inspiration from that. I'm in the process of putting together motivational videos. And so just things on there to really try to help people get away from dreading Monday.
Mhm. All right. Is there anything else that you would like? Did I ask you that? Is there anything else you would like to say before we close?
Well, I just want to encourage people that regard
I'm
that
so wrapped up in what you're saying. I just got the question.
I just want people to know that regardless of what you're going through, that we serve a God who wants you to keep going. I encourage people to, as they drive down the interstates of life, all over this world, sometimes you will look on the side of the road and you will see a car broken down. And you know if that car has been broken down for a long time because it has your orange sticker on it. The orange sticker lets the police know this car needs to be removed. There are people who we pass by every day who have orange stickers on it. There are people who have been sidelined because life has hit them, life has happened, and they become stuck. For the people who have become stuck, we serve a God who can help you get unstuck. And while things may not get better overnight, they will get better over time.
Mm-hmm. All right. You heard it. You heard it, y'all. Again, thank you for coming in today, Tommy.
Yes.
And with that being said, I'm Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews. Happy reading. Bye, y'all.
Bye.